December 22, 2001, just 2 months after the 9/11 attacks, American Airlines Flight 63 with 197 passengers and crew suddenly in trouble. Passenger Richard Reed was attempting to detonate a plastic explosive called PETN he'd concealed inside his shoes. Passengers pounced, and the flight, headed from Paris to Miami, was safely escorted by fighter jets to Boston's Logan Airport. Reed is a British citizen who'd converted to Islam. He was sentenced to life in prison without parole.
Richard Reed is an al-Qaeda-trained Islamic extremist who, while on a martyrdom mission, engaged in acts of international terrorism that were motivated by his hate of the United States.
Nearly 5 years later, in August 2006, 24 men were arrested by British authorities, charged with plotting to blow up as many as 10 flights over the Atlantic simultaneously. Their weapon of choice? Explosive liquids smuggled aboard in soda bottles. After that, liquids were limited to no more than 3.4 ounces on board an aircraft. By then, passengers were already facing tighter security from the 9/11 attacks. Shoes had to be removed, laptops taken out. Box cutters and lighters were forbidden. But the terrorists were getting more creative. Christmas Day 2009, another failed attempt using the deadly explosive PETN. Northwest Airlines Flight 253 was on its way from Amsterdam to Detroit when a passenger tried to set off explosives sewn into his underwear. The so-called underwear bomber, Umar Farouk Abdul Muttalib, was sentenced to life in prison. Turns out he'd been in contact with Anwar al-Awlaki, a senior al-Qaeda recruiter, later killed in a U.S. drone strike. A year later, in 2010, a suspect tries again to use PETN as a bomb on 2 cargo planes bound for Chicago. The devices were disguised as ink cartridges, discovered after a tip. This bomb expert recreated what may have happened. The prime suspect was a Saudi bomb maker named Ibrahim Hassan al-Asiri, believed to be a member of al-Qaeda in the Arabian Peninsula.
There's no doubt about this. This is an ingenious way of doing it. If that had been part of an airplane's fuselage, then heaven help the airplane.
Whoever built that bomb likely thought it would pass through an X-ray machine, with the PETN disguised as printer toner powder. Randi Kaye, CNN, New York.